Good evening, everyone. Sorry for the late start, but Flight Sim was being a problem. Um, just a matter of sussing out some problems with some community folder stuff, causing the sim not to load even to the menu. So, now that I've got it resolved, I'm at least at a point where it's functional and I can start sussing out which add-on is indeed the problem. So with that said, welcome to Alaska. It's nice and snowy here. Flight sim being flight sim. So, and yes, Ed, I did see your messages, but I was really busy just trying to suss out what was going on, so I didn't respond. Scotland 737 Project is here. Merry Christmas to you as well, my friend. Alison Johnson. Good. Alison Johnson is here. Easy for me to say. Good evening. Good evening, Ed. Sim Aviator is here from Dougal and Simwings. Welcome, Sim Aviator. Glad to have you aboard. Dougal McTavish is here. Welcome, welcome. Randy Hurst is here. Merry Christmas to you as well. It is indeed Christmas Eve. Peter Fast P84 is here. Welcome, welcome. I see you on the runway. Today I'm in the Caravan. You may want something with de-icing and something that can handle a more rough sort of landing surface. Well, huzzah. Huzzah for the Swedish Christmas dinner. Bot Up is here. Body P, welcome, welcome. Glad to have you. So we're doing our own search for the northern. We're looking out for St. Nick as he hits his last stops of, or I suppose somehow you look at it, but basically one of the more northern airports in the United States. And we're also going to be going to the closest point between the United States and Russia along the Bering Sea. So, that being said, we're going to get the party started by hitting wrong buttons as we have the wonderful Caravan. I'm going to go ahead and get the party started. Get our levers in and such right positions. So okay, so get the party started. Noel's here, welcome. You have a happy Christmas as well, and that's okay. It is a busy day for a lot. Keen Lafford is here. Welcome and Merry Christmas to you. Merlin Fire is here. Welcome, welcome. Happy Christmas Eve. We're just getting the engine and such going. So we're going to go ahead and get our AP set up. Okay, that's ready to go. Go ahead and kill the headlamp. And especially since we're late, we're gonna go ahead and get rolling. If the parking brake is, should be. Come on, Caravan. Let's get some. There we go. I'll assume that's Swedish for Happy Christmas. So, right back at you. So, let's get this party rolling, shall we? It's alright, Allison. I got the gist of what you intended. Yeah, flaps would have been a good help. Should be East USA, Dougal. So I guess we're playing the part of some Santa's elves and delivering packages to the far reaches in the bush. John Mathers is here. It should be East USA server. Wisdom SP is here. Welcome. Merry Christmas to you as well. So we're going to go ahead and activate the autopilot. And just to confirm, server, yes, East USA. I looked at the real weather, and it was pretty dismal. So I decided the Arctic chill weather was going to be ideal. So yesterday with Two-Tone Murphy, we were picking up and delivering packages in Norway and Sweden. And today, we're doing the same, but in Alaska. Allison flew from Venice to Rome earlier. Weather was so bad, ATC refused to clear me to even taxi. Well, how dare they? It's less than a day until Christmas. It's a mere matter of hours. In fact, by my calculation, less than 8 hours until Christmas. East USA. Thank you, Allison. And I think Fast Pete's in the King Air. So it is nice and snowy to fit the season, and in fact, since yesterday, I have snow on the ground outside of my window in real life. Not a lot, mind you, but some. And for the occasion, I did manage to find a playlist of copyright-free Christmas-style music. Yeah, we're already en route, Dougal, so go ahead and plow on. Ooh, Pete's flying the Seminole today. That explains the detail I saw. Yes, we just took off, not but moments ago. We took off from Papa Alpha Whiskey Mike, and we are on our route to Papa Alpha India Whiskey. It might take a second. Servers may still be struggling a little bit. I know it was a real challenge yesterday. And Allison is off to the races, gifting 5 Tier 1 subs to Body P, Raleigh Mall, Sparker Inver, Toxic Twin, and Matsutai. Many thanks, Allison. It's very kind and generous of you. As I have Body P and Fast Pete as things load in. Merry Christmas, Allison, and Merry Christmas to the new subs. Many thanks. I'm very humbled and grateful for all of you and for the generosity that you've shown. It's by no means a requirement to be here, but it is greatly appreciated and is put back into the sim as much as I can. And it also keeps me going. So we're far enough away from the airport we don't necessarily need the landing lights on. We're going for max speed right now just because we did start late. Although I think that does mean I can dial back the engine a little bit so we're not completely redlining it. There we go. We're getting under the red line nicely. There we go. I do have a Discord server. At some point, the link will pop up. Allison and Ed are on top of it. It's not as active as Two-Tone Murphy's, but I like to post tidbits here and there of news and information and screenshots and stuff of things that I'm playing. Ben McClure is here. Welcome, welcome. Good to have you aboard. We're delivering packages in Alaska. As Seamus McNeil wanders in, good day to you. Well, now that the flight sim decided to cooperate, it's going a lot better. Glad to see you here. So it may not be the more mountainous region of Alaska, but it still is a bit lumpy. As Pete is catching up. So our cruise altitude is currently at 4,500 feet with an altimeter setting of 29.902. And we are on the short leg of tonight's flight. Need my calculator. Where are you? There we go. So tonight's flight is a total of 428 nautical miles worth of flying. Well, I appreciate that, Keen. Much obliged. Well, that's unfortunate, Dougal. You're still welcome to fly along in spirit, should you want to. I see Zostris over to the right. Apparently nav mode didn't take because I didn't set the CDI correctly. So prepare for a right turn, everyone. I was wondering why we were going out over the ocean. Turns out our CDI wasn't properly set. This is what happens when you get in a hurry. You miss things. Good evening, Kendra. Glad you could make it. Merry Christmas to you as well. I was starting to get real curious as to why we were going over the ocean. And then it clicked. So we're currently flying an intercept course. To get back on that flight, on the proper flight path. I think the TBM has the G3000, so I can't help with that. $144 until the Eurovision. It's so good. That's basically what we're doing. We're delivering packages in the bush of Alaska. We just got a little off course. Off in the distance, you can see Nome, Alaska. That's an excellent question. I'm not entirely sure why. Yeah, I'm not sure why it shows me. I'm hearing noise. Kendra has just subscribed on Twitch. Many thanks, Kendra. I do appreciate it. All right. Thanks for the stick-to-itiveness, guys. Yeah, it's been hit and miss because some add-ons are working just fine, and it was working okay yesterday for the most part. And then I loaded up today and nothing. And I mean, I couldn't even load the menu. So it's the painstaking process of going through a couple add-ons here, swap it out, see if it works, see if it doesn't. And so I was just real focused on getting that sorted out. But all in all, I'm not sure why YouTube is see, I could go on. YouTube is great for getting discovered and great for videos on demand. YouTube is not a great platform for streaming. There's a lot less options for chat interactivity, for in integration in games, whereas Twitch has a lot of that, and they do a very good job at it. The problem with Twitch is it has a tendency to be more difficult to just get discovered as a content creator until you get a lot of viewers regularly. Here, if you can see Mars and Jupiter aligned with each other. It should be, if I didn't have a bunch of clouds. It would be cool if they did that in the sim. But it seems that we've all managed to get somewhat close to each other once more. Should be a bit we're still on our way to re-intercept the magenta line. We got way off course, folks, and that is my fault. So I know that the Rona has most of us, or a good chunk of us, locked in, unable to see family and whatnot, and all that unpleasantness. But I hope, despite all that, you find a way to have a Merry Christmas and a wonderful holiday, and find a way to interact with family, at least give them a call, FaceTime them, you know, find a way to video chat, something. A nice way to keep connected with your family during the trying times that is the current unpleasantness. And besides, there's always old streams and videos to watch between of Murphy's and myself for your entertainment. I know one thing I plan to do post stream tonight is go upstairs, visit my dad, since we live in a duplex with each other, basically. We share a duplex. He lives on one floor, I live in another. And we're going to share a glass, or share some Jameson Black Barrel. Kendra's working on Christmas. Ouch. That's unfortunate. Will definitely keep you in the thoughts for having pleasant customers to deal with instead of the unruly one. So we may have to rise or increase our altitude ever so slightly. We may be good. But for right now, we're going to bump up to 5,500 temporarily. Just to make sure we can clear some of this terrain. The 3 rules for being a pilot is pilot is aviate, navigate, communicate, in that order. Which means your first job and your first priority is to fly the plane. The pilot is responsible for the safety of themselves and all passengers, occupants. So when something happens, your first job is to fly the plane. From there, it's to navigate. And what that means is find out where you're going, where you need to go, and where you're at. And then after that comes communicate. So if you're in some sort of temporary distress and air traffic control is talking at you and yelling at you and wondering why you're not responding, it's because you're probably trying to make sure you're flying the plane and knowing where you're at. Keen's nanny's birthday is tomorrow. Some of the family. Well, if you can do it over the phone, that could be worth a try. I know it's not the same, but given the times we're in, it reminds me of an old phrase: improvise, adapt, and overcome. Not dying is a good rule, but it kind of, if you follow the first 3, you should be okay for the most part. But in these trying times, with the rules imposed upon us by the powers that be, you improvise the situation, you adapt how you do things so that you overcome the problem. So you improvise, you adapt, and you overcome. Some nice mountains up this route, as we should be getting close to. There we are. We're turning onto the magenta line now. Any landing you can walk away from. I see the Merlin flyer. So there's Fast Pete, Merlin flyer, Bodip, and Zostris. Part of me is just waiting for Murphy to sneak on in the Eurofighter, providing fighter escort for the cargo planes. But I'm sure he's awfully busy between his day job and the family. Had a fantastic stream last night, flying in Norway and Sweden. Yeah, I think a lot of it is just, you know, with the big update and whatnot, it's kind of bogged down the system. It was pretty bad yesterday. And even then, it was kind of in and out and in and out and in and out. Realistically, we should be somewhat okay, given the fact that there's not a lot of people up this way. Yeah, exactly. And, you know, with more people online, you know, because of the holiday, that also has an impact. So we're about to fly over the Imaruk Basin. Here in Alaska. And the Imaruk Basin snakes its way via river into the Grantley Harbor. And we'll be passing Teller Airport near Cape Riley. And then we'll pass Port Clarence. We'll fly over Tin City as we land in Wales. There you go. Got to find those ways of keeping you busy there, Seamus. As was once told to me, idle hands are the devil's playground. So if you keep your hands busy, you should be good to go. Basically, it's always a good Christmas if I get some sort of Lego set. Something to build and create with my hands. In recent years, some other priorities have taken a higher priority, but I always enjoy getting something of a Lego set. As Murph has wandered in, waiting for you to come in and provide fighter escort for the cargo planes. Hope you had a good day. Hope you get to enjoy some time off over the weekend. Happy Christmas to you as well. That's unfortunate, Dougal. It gave me a run for my money. The stream almost didn't happen. So we are flying over the Seaward Peninsula of Alaska. or as it notates on the charts. And we're currently flying the Emmerich Basin. It's almost like I called it. Up ahead, we can see the Brantley Harbor. Dougal, go into your data settings and double check, maybe turn on and then turn off the multiplayer functionality and see if that helps. Other than that, maybe restarting your modem and or router or router. So after seeing Murphy's beta alpha tester paint job on his Caravan, I like the black and blue but a lot better than the white and blue. But it's okay. It's a free extra livery that people can actually use. So I can't be upset with that. But yeah, I would double check the data section in the general options. Maybe turn off and turn back on the multiplayer. Worst case scenario, the modem and or router. Giving those the old reboot. I have to do that from time to time. I have to agree. Some of the, I mean, I looked at a lot of the other ones and it just doesn't look quite as nice as it does. It just somehow works on the Caravan, but it's like a flying billboard anyway. Kind of weird. Yeah, Wisdom, I think the problem that they're having is they're not getting any servers to select from. And that's causing the issue. Could be wrong, but I think that's what they're getting at. We lost body. Leave it to a Cessna to have a good looking paint job. Hey, Dougal's got server showing now. Interesting. Well, select East USA and hopefully it'll fix itself. Maybe? Who knows? I don't know what to tell you. There's Dougal. We're bypassing Dougal as... There we go. There's Dougal. We're getting it sorted out. We're still on the first leg. We're still going. We're probably 3/4 of the way there. We're 3/4 of the way to Papa Alpha Whiskey Mike. So there's Teller. Tortuga's here. Happy holidays to you as well. I hope you're well this Christmas Eve. So, the airport we're going to be landing in, Wales, is extremely close between. Uh-oh, I'm here. Tortuga with donating $20. Many thanks, my dude. Happy holidays to you as well. I'm very humbled and thankful for the donation. So, many thanks. That's incredibly kind of you. So we could almost fly into Russian airspace over the Bering Sea if we really wanted to, but that would be well out of the way for our flight. Yeah, I'm not even going to try to pronounce the airport that we're looking at flying over now. Breivik mission. Okay, it wasn't as bad as I thought. It's near Nome. Well, not near Nome. Charlie Egan is here. I see more names coming up ahead. I've got a Dougal McTavish and a Merlin Flyer behind me. Zostrus over there. Feel like I've lost Fast Pete. Welcome, Charlie. I hope you're well. Happy Christmas Eve to you. We're on our way to Wales, in Alaska. The overhead floodlight is going to be down here by the ADF. You'll have the left flood and the right flood. A little blocked by the inertial separator. I imagine it will, Pete. Just gotta give it some time. It's Murph in a Mankini. Hello to you. Happy Christmas Eve. Hope you are well. There's Zostrus in a TBM. I see Riot Pilot Randy in a 208. There's Dougal in another 208. So where's you got lost at the beginning of the flight because of all the confusion? We'll turn around. Roger that. Yeah, I kind of misled everybody unintentionally. I did not have a properly set CDI. So I was just flying off into the ocean, and then I noticed that, gosh, it seems weird that when flying over the ocean, I was expecting to fly over some mountains and other bits of land. And I had forgotten to set the CDI properly. That is interesting, Dougal. Interesting. Because I see you in a caravan. Interesting. So we're approximately 36 nautical miles from Wales. The other Wales. There's Zostrus in the TBM, Dougal in the 208, and Randy on an intercept course. Dougal, here's a thought. Did you download the new liveries by any chance? Aha. So Randy has been flying on hard mode. So mad props there. Ah, that might be why. Because if you don't have the new fancy liveries, that's probably why it's showing me as a generic quote unquote bonanza. Because if I'm in something that you don't have, it should default to that, to one of the default aircraft, even if it's just a livery, which is weird, but yeah, because they added one for every aircraft, plus an extra 2 for the pits, and that's not counting the beta testers. They got an extra set for every aircraft, and maybe even the alpha testers beyond that. And max default aircraft, I believe, is 30 with the premium deluxe edition, so that's 60, potentially 90 plus 2 on top of the, so who knows. There we see Tortuga. I can't get Randy and Merlin into say. There we go. Yeah, 30 default and premium deluxe. I think it's just a matter of the reason why I'm showing as default is just the Google hasn't downloaded it, and so it's showing me as generic. That's all. And there's Fast Pete again, at the cost of Merlin, because Fast Pete is back and Merlin's gone. So we're playing a bit of Russian roulette with flying friends. Ooh, that's a bounce. So what are the winds indicating? 27, and it looks like we're going to end up with a north. I feel like we're going to end up with a north-south runway. Yeah, 1836. So we're going to end up with a direct crosswind no matter how we do it. Unless we go in and play with the weather settings. As we're about 20 nautical miles out. Yeah, and we're running Arctic chill as opposed to real weather. As Tortuga just disappeared off my screen. Actually, everybody's gone. The servers are doing its thing. Yeah, everybody disappeared off my screen. Oh boy. So I'm going to do some fiddly bits and play with the weather a little bit. And we're going to make it go there. Yep. Servers are doing what servers do. So if you want to adjust your wind settings or not, I've changed the winds to 178 degrees. So we can at least get a proper, decent landing. So we'll land on runway 18. Well, I got Tortuga back. I've got Randy, Dougal, Fast Pete, Merlin, and Zostrus. So, huzzah. So we're going to disable the autopilot. We're going to lower the power a little bit, aim north a little bit so that we're able to get a better approach to the airfield. Merry Christmas, Ben. Glad you stopped by, and I hope you have a pleasant rest. I do have a merch store. The latest was a kind of Mandalorian-themed shirt saying, "The six-pack and steam gauges, this is the way." That's awesome, Dougal. I'm glad that was able to happen. It's always nice to see family unexpectedly, and it's even better during times where it's hard to see family. You know, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of nice features about the G1000, the glass cockpit stuff. There's a lot of good things about it. But in some ways, it makes things more complicated. So I will always and forever be a fan of keeping things simple. Now, hopefully, this runway has lights. If not, well, we'll figure it out. But we have the field in sight. You can almost see a tiny grouping of islands that are right on the border. So that, I believe, is Diomede Island. They're both the Diomede Islands. The bigger one that's right behind it is Ratmanova. There you go, Dougal. 100% agree. So the Diomede, there's a big Diomede Island and Little Diomede Island. There's a heliport on Little Diomede Island. And Little Diomede Island is on the U.S. side, whereas Russia has the Big Diomede Island. Captain Jack is here. Merry Christmas. You are not too late. We're at our first stop of 3. So you're more than welcome along. We're flying up in Alaska, delivering some presents to the more remote parts. And this is probably as bright as the sun's going to be. The airfield is still well in sight. So we'll go ahead and flip our landing lights back on. Sounds awesome, Captain Jack. Gonna lose some speed here. Pulling back on the... No lights, but we're using Tortuga as the guide. We're now in the flap arc. So flaps, 1 notch of flaps in. So we do have the runway in sight. Keep our approach nice and stable. We're in the period of time which is known as a... What is it? I forgot what it was. Basically, quiet cockpit time. I want to say sanitary, but that's not right. Put in that last notch of flaps. Sterile, that's the word. We're in the part where it takes a lot of... where you really need to focus. As I continue to ramble on. I at least was in the right ballpark with sterile when I said sanitary. Hopefully it's sanitary. But sterile is the technically appropriate and proper term. So we're adjusting it closer to the center line. Thanks, Linda. Linda just said 500, indicating we're 500 feet above the ground. We got a couple of windmills here. Ailerons into the Wind is here. Merry Christmas to you as well. Only a couple hours for you to go. Then it's Santa time. So we're down. First thrust. And I believe it is Ailerons into the Wind's birthday today, so give him an extra special Merry Christmas and Happy Birthday. I hope the season finds you extra bright tonight. As we pull off of the runway. Set our levers into the appropriate positions. Get out our as Bodhi P lands. So aim for this little odd-shaped lake. And it should get you down. And the runway is open. Little later, late start, but that's okay. We got it worked out. Servers are still being servers. There's Zostrus in the TBM. Merlin Flyer in the Caravan. There's Rad Pilot Randy. So, welcome to Wales. Just a different other Wales. There's Fast Pete in the Seminole. And last but certainly not least is Dougal McTavish. Nicely done by everyone. So as we unload our packages here to the good people of Wales. So from here, it's all good. Ailerons, you celebrate. You've earned it. So we have a Rogue 172 doing a thing. So now we are going to make our way northeasterly up to Kotzebue. Probably butchering that horribly. So flaps go up one notch. You did a fantastic job, Randy. So no worries there. Gonna release the parking brake. We're gonna land on the runway we're gonna take off on the runway we just landed on. Although I don't foresee us really needing the whole runway. It's okay if you don't take off in time, the sea will catch us. We're gonna hope that we're on the runway surface. Looks close enough to me. Since we're on the active, we'll use the landing light. That way we're not blinding any incoming aircraft. I've not gone into those settings, so I cannot confirm having that particular issue. Go ahead and readjust our trim. It's Piat Laros. Hello to you. Happy Christmas or other holiday greetings. Oh, that's a puddle. So we'll go for our gear after we get everybody down on this end. Sure. And pretty much everybody's down here. So prop and condition go forward. And we're up in the air. Well, lucky for you, the countdown to Christmas says it's a mere matter of hours. So we'll start our casual standard left. Now we're going to take a right turn because there's some terrain there. Gonna pull in the flaps. Oh dear. Don't sink. It'll be Christmas for Piat in less than an hour. Well, there you go. Happy holidays to you, Brick. Just beginning leg number 2. We're taking off from Papa Alpha India Whiskey on our way to Papa Alpha Oscar Tango. That's fair, Piat. It's kind of like the whole next day kind of thing. Tuesday doesn't, or Friday won't really start until I go to bed and wake up. So we're running on the Arctic Chill weather setting from the SoFly Weather Preset Pro on leg number 2 of 3. We're going to go ahead and activate our autopilot, which has the correct setting for these CDI now. It's the SoFly Weather Preset Pro Arctic Chill setting. We're setting our engine settings to not overstress the well, fine. We're going to increase the I'll read it in a moment, Ed. I'm just making sure my aircraft settings are where they need to be. The whole aviate, navigate, communicate thing. So give me 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. Still waiting to... There's that. There we go. Happy Christmas to you, Kingsman. Hope you're well. All right, where are we at? Yeah, ever since you talked about ginger ale during your flights, I've been on the lookout for it over here. I found some brands such as Royal Club and made it part of my daily consumptions. It's good stuff. Specifically, Verner's. It's a pretty regional thing. Verner's it's pretty centrally a Michigan thing. You may be able to order it online, but I have my doubts of even that, at least internationally. But ginger ale can be a nice, especially because I like when I'm having just a constant upset stomach. Verner's will somehow, and it's probably related to the ginger root, will help settle my stomach down quite a bit. So from depending on where you're at, it can actually act medicinally. So I get my engine settings sorted. John E. to the in-laws tonight. No flying. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year to you, John. And yes, Randy, we are at 5,500 feet. Ish. With an altimeter setting of 299 There's the crew. We're far enough away from the airport. The landing lights can come off. As we make our way to stop number 2. No. Verner's. It's Vernor's. So to make do a substitute found forever tree. Fair enough. Servers are playing trickery on us tonight. Banishing folks to a different plane of existence. Let's see, for funsies, burners. Well, I guess that's it. So, oopsie doodle. I'm pressing buttons. See, just woke up and it's Christmas morning here. Everyone else is asleep yet. Well, Merry Christmas to you, Greyhawk. You are living in the future. It's and everybody's disappeared off my screen. It's still Christmas Eve for another 6 hours, 6.5 hours for me. Servers are being servers today. Uh-oh. Um, Completely unrelated to the stream, folks. I just received a good words hard, can't talk. I just received a gift on Steam of Cyberpunk 2077 from a very good friend of mine. So many thanks to Lord Satsugai. He's a very generous person that I've known for a few years now, and have gone to events with, and so many thanks. That's awesome. I'll have to shoot him a message later. Keen Lafford is off. Spending time with your family is a good thing, and of course the dog as well. Happy Christmas to you. We'll do our best, and we will catch you on Discord and on the next stream. So you take care. Aha! Matt Setsugai is in the chat, folks, so thank you very much. I was looking to get it, and now I don't have to. So many thanks. You're a gentleman and a scholar, and everybody's back on my screen. So I've got Rad Pilot Randy, Jack Daniels, Bodip, and Chilled Corky. And it sounds like someone's in front of me. And there's Dougal. But yes, Verner's is a very Michigan thing. I don't know if you can use their site to order stuff internationally or not. But Verner's is a wonderful thing. It's not something I can drink a lot of. Like, I can't just sit there and drink it, nor should anybody, quite frankly. But it's good for what ails you. So if there's any possibility of getting it internationally, it's worth at least a try. So, Merry Christmas to Mitch. You're awesome and a good friend. I wish I could reciprocate. Yeah, pardon me. Amazon would probably have it, but yeah, you're starting to get into serious shipping costs, and then you got to worry about customs and this and that, and yeah, I think it's just their servers are going through some heavy load between the big update from VR, the fact that it's coming up on Christmas and there's new people getting Flight Simulator and thus getting on and having to download and do that. So it might be a shaky couple of days yet for the servers. So just rest assured you're not alone in the issue. It happened to me several times last night. It happened to Murphy several times. So it's a common known issue, and I think it just has to do with server overload. I'm sure they will. I think, probably I'd even give it a week just because of the holiday. Between new lockdowns, the holiday, more people getting it, the big update, the servers are getting really stressed. So simply because it's like the perfect storm of influx of things requiring the internet. And as massive as Microsoft servers can be, that's a lot. Yeah, I have no doubt they will. It just might take a little bit of time. And news on the scenery front, it looks like Jeppesen 2001 is about, or getting close to having a early release of Casement Aerodrome in Ireland. He's been working on, and so far it looks fantastic. So another lovely Irish bit of scenery to enjoy. Can't wait to check it out. So be sure to check it out on the Two-Tone Murphy Discord. Hey, Bombasso, how you doing? Merry Christmas, Happy Holiday to you. Roger that, Kingsman. We'll be happy to have you along. Is it me or is it brighter? It's almost as if the sun is actually coming up. Oh. So definitely not the most mountainous areas of Alaska. The next airport code is Papa Alpha Oscar Tango, to which we are about 104 miles out. Flying over the more desolate parts of the Alaskan wilderness. See if I can remember my key setting. Let's see what's. Let's go back to. So this is, it's probably not going to get a whole lot brighter. Got halfway through typing a message and never sent it. Whoops. You ever go to do something, just get realize you have to take care of something else, and then realize that you forgot to do the thing you were going to do? Happens to me a lot. And even as desolate as it is, with the sun, you pair it with the sunrise and the fact that you're flying with friends, and you just got a recipe for some good times. We're hauling packages for Santa Claus, delivering them to the places that are hard to reach. On the Two-Tone Murphy Discord, I did post that NORAD is actively tracking Santa Claus. I will say that I have gotten more for Christmas than I ever felt that I've deserved, and I'm eternally humbled and grateful for the generosity that you all and even my family has shown. So I cannot understate my gratitude and my gratefulness for all that you've done for me, all that you've helped me with, and just, even if it's just so much as being company on... Oh, that's interesting. Huh. Well then. Trying to express my gratefulness, and wouldn't you know it, Flight Sim decides it just doesn't want to work. I'll show you. So while this is getting up back and running, I'm going to make a water run. So I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. All right. Let's see if... Hey! It did the right thing. So, we were still... we can spawn off as a departure. Arrival. That is... Go to weather. Ooh. That. Da-da. Go to about there. Click fly. So in case you haven't seen it, you can check out Two-Tone Murphy's channel. Check out his Discord. And you'll see all the wonderful pictures of the Jeppesen 2001 Casement Aerodrome that is a work in progress. What did I... Why you do this? They really know how to make things inconvenient. There we go. Huzzah! So now we have to go to CDI. Nav mode. Turn on altitude mode. 55. And flight director is on. There we go. He certainly has, Allison. And it does appear that everyone is currently gone for me as well. Technical issues. Gotta love the technical issues. At least in this case, it was a... The people disappearing is something that's not under my control. And it was a quick bounce back from the crash to desktop. Let's see, I just spawned and can see your name tags. Cool. Yeah, again, I want to say that it has to just do a server load, and you know, it's a perfect storm of, you know, just a lot of traffic happening. For the sake of stability, I'm going to do a thing. See if that helps alleviate some of it. But if you haven't checked it out, I checked out Jepson 2001 sceneries. You really ought to, because it's some pretty awesome stuff. Oh, let's see here. We were talking about the last count. Probably more than that. I'd hazard a guess that it will be more than 2 million by the time the holidays settle out. Has Murphy Graces, is he in the typhoon by chance? I still don't see anyone. But I'm sure that will change soon, when it's good and ready to. You take care, Kendra. You rest well and have a good and safe day tomorrow on Christmas. You have a Merry Christmas, sleep tight, and we'll definitely catch you the next time. That's exactly what I'm planning to do, Dougal. Just let it consider itself and what it's doing, and anytime, Kendra, you're always welcome. Oh, cabin lights. Well, you don't need to be on. Oh, cabin lights, oh, cabin lights. You really are worthless to the pilot. Because I have no passengers, it's just me. So I'll turn you off and save some electricity. Oh, cabin lights, oh, cabin lights. I've now turned you off. Although it apparently has decided to turn on the wing light too. So if we go to this view, you'll see light reflecting off there. But if we look down here and turn that off, it isn't. And that is a light to check for icing. Merry Christmas to you, Papa Joe B. And absolutely, things will only get better. We will get through this, and we shall prevail. I hope your dinner was yummy. So you have to spill the beans. What was on the plate for dinner? Oh dear. You don't like, nobody likes the frozen popcorn popsicle, the popsicle aircraft. Well, let's go to this one. It's a little nicer of a view. They definitely, while these generic Christmas music isn't quite, they do get the at least gist of a Christmas vibe to them. Traditional family dinner consists of pierogies, sour mushroom soup, cabbage and noodles, and homemade desserts. Our families came to America from Europe and settled here in Pennsylvania. That sounds delicious. I don't think I've ever had a pierogi. If I've ever had a pierogi, I've not known it was a pierogi. That definitely is the best Christmas you could have, Greyhawk. I'm glad everything went well. And here is to more Christmases in the future. Fair enough, Papa Joe. All I know is sometime soon I want some shepherd's pie because I haven't had it in years. And it's a nice, simple meal. I wonder if my dad can make pierogies. He can make a lot of things. So I bet he'd know how to make pierogi. Trying to remember, there's some very traditional dishes. Hey, I've got name tags. I'm behind everyone. There we go. Between Seamus and Annalisa, we'll get some pierogies to me. Shoot. It is all about the food. Food is a wonderful thing. Shepherd's pie and a pint on cold UK afternoons, a gift from above. Escanaba, that'd be a good place to start. It really is a very simple dish, but it tastes so good. That's it. Pasties. So, an iconic and traditional food in Michigan is called a pasty. It's Pasties. Let's see. This iconic UP food was the original fast food of miners and lumberjacks. It was brought to the region from Cornwall, although I don't know if that's supposed to be Cornwall, England, when Cornish miners arrived to make their livelihoods in the iron and copper mine. Legend says the miners' wives took everything left over from Sunday dinner and wrapped it in pastry dough. Their husbands and sons would carry them into the mines and heat them on a shovel over their lantern candles. A traditional Cornish pasty wraps beef, onion, potato, and rutabaga in a light, flaky pastry crimped at the edge to form a half moon. The Finnish version supplements carrots for the rutabaga, and the Irish, Scottish, Polish, Swedish, German, Italian, and French miners modified the Cornish recipe with their choice of ethnic spices and ethnic ingredients. Restaurants and specialty pastry shops throughout Delta County use family recipes, and some have added unique versions such as cheesy broccoli, chicken, pizza, ham, and vegetable pasties. Both Dauber's pastries and Grant's pasties boast making the best. So there you go. So there's a traditional Michigan style food for you. Food is a wonderful thing. Ooh, Wisdom is smoking a turkey. Uh-oh, Dougal had a CTD. One thing I did just for the sake of stability was turn the generic models back on, as much as I don't like doing that. And I don't see... Aha! There's more people behind me. There's Pete, Jack Daniels, Tortuga. I don't see a Murphy. Kingsman, Merlin Flyers, Ostrich, Greyhawk, and Randy. Well, you take care, Dougal. Grateful for you chugging along as much as you could. Sorry for all the technical problems, but I wish you a good night, good rest, and a Merry Christmas. We're making Randy Hurst hungry. Yeah, I'm making myself hungry. So in Cornwall, they call pasties oggies. Or, is it oggies or ogies? So we should be on course and not flying in the middle of nowhere. We're over something that I can't pronounce. The Kotzebue Sound. We're almost there. You're quite welcome, Jeppesen. You do fantastic work, and it deserves a shout out. Aggies. Or Ogies. Okay, so Aggies? Aggies. Can't wait to check out Casement. It seems awesome. Okay, so we're 27 nautical miles from our next stop. You can almost see it ahead of us. All this talk about food has gotten me understandably hungry. Which also means, what am I going to do for food after the stream? Just flew through somebody. I should go with something fairly simple, but simple usually means I have to make it. And I could get some food from a place that already makes food. I guess we'll see what happens. Oh my. So I can see Zostrus, I see Body P, I see Jack Daniels. I see a Rad Pilot Randy, a Tortuga, a Fast P, a Greyhawk, and a Kingsman. So runway is in sight. Looks amazing, Jeppesen. Absolutely stunning. Gaming 7 DC, well, hello there to you as well. On a new platform. So we're gonna get popped back into the cockpit. We're gonna go ahead and, well, let's see. Winds are back to being 270. Does look like they have an east-west runway. So we're going to adjust course a little bit to heading mode. Roger that, Tortuga. There should be an east-west runway. So we're going to go with runway 27. So we're going to fly around this way and come back in. So we're not trying to fight the wind as well. We'll begin our descent now. Yes, Merry Christmas to Jeppesen. Hope peace and joy finds you. We'll make sure that we get our descent going properly. We do have a north-south, but it's smaller and would give a really nasty crosswind, so we're going to go with the east-west. So we're going to make sure that we give ourselves a big enough arc to lose altitude and to give ourselves a good enough approach. Hey, look, it's my fans. So we keep an eye on the speed. And give a nose up attitude. That'll drop some speed off. So the first notch of flaps, push down on the nose a little bit. Last notch of flaps. Landing light on. Well, that crashed out both Flight Sim and OBS. Interesting. It's incredibly frustrating. Merry Christmas to you as well, Joe. We will catch you in the skies over the weekend. I think if it is, he wouldn't get to Alaska until several hours from now. Maybe he's just getting mad that we're doing his job. It's really hard to say. I'll do the one thing I can do, and the one thing I can do happens to be just keep moving forward, keep trudging along, doing the best I can. I think some of it for me has a lot to do with my drivers. AMD put out a set of drivers that really haven't worked real well with Flight Sim. Since the early November drivers, it's been nothing but problems. I can do everything I possibly can to alleviate you know, sim settings and all that, and it still happens. So they just haven't agreed with my system. I'll be opening up a bottle of Jameson Black Barrel here at post stream. All right. So we're just going to start off on the ground. But I think we're going to go with few clouds. That for time. So we're going to see if we've seems as most everybody's down, which is a-okay. So we're going to go in and play with a couple of settings just to see if I can do something. That's medium, see what happens. So for takeoff, we'll just take off on the runway we just landed on. Because that just ends up making the most sense. So we'll get back in the cockpit, fuel. Set the trim. Low idle. Minimum RPMs. Parking brake set. Really? Plane is even moving and it moves the thing. Incredibly annoying, Soft.
System test. Okay.
Christopher, you have a good night, Randy. Thanks for flying along. Do appreciate it, and I do wish you a very Merry Christmas. And we'll catch you next time. Maps. That goes to that. I wonder if B&B stands for bed and bath, or beer and burgers, or beer and bratwurst, or burgers and bratwurst. I can get behind a lot of those things. Okay, CDI is correct. Transponder set to altitude. Nav mode, flight director. We'll leave that off. Altitude select. We'll go for 5,500. No, take that back. 4,500. Vertical speed. We'll do 600 feet a minute. Well, we'll do 700. Why not? Make sure the limiter setting. We're on few clouds this time. Just trying to eliminate any possible gremlins that I can control anyhow. Nav light and taxi light are on. There we go. Now we're getting some movement. Yep, they smoothed that out. They had made it the update before. Everybody said it was too sensitive. Then the update, or two updates before, they said it was too sensitive. And banked too much. Then the next to last update, they went too far back and made it too shallow. And they finally hit the just right button on the most recent update. Aha! Liquor. Or liqueur. But now I kind of want some burgers and bratwurst now. Okay, so we'll get down here and we'll turn around. As Kingsman is up and away already. So too shall we follow suit. And as if we weren't even trying. And flaps are coming up. Bearing for dip. And autopilot engaged. When you really want to go to bed and zonk out yourself, add liquor. And we should be good as far as terrain goes. I'm hearing a wow. There's Kingsman. Yep, that seems like a good one. We're going for 4,500. Because the rule of thumb is, when you're traveling westward, even ever so slightly westward, you fly at an even 1,000. And when you're flying VFR, you add an extra 500 feet to that, so 4,500. If you're flying eastward, you fly at the odd 1,000. And if you're flying VFR, you add another 500. So you'd go at, say, 3,500. So since we are flying VFR and we are flying westward-ish, or in a westerly direction, we'll fly at 4,500 feet. Although we could really scud run it at 2,500, we'll stick with 45. Sticky Rice is here, and I mean, a Caravan is a Cessna, so it still counts. It's not showing it nearly as snowy as the Arctic chill did, but what can you do? Although for funsies, let's check out, see what live weather does. Oh, that put us in the middle of a cloud. Isn't that awesome? So live weather, not the greatest of ideas. So we're going to go back to few clouds. We're going to make the temperature cold. We're going to make the snow depth. I wish they would give it to me in imperial units. Precipitation, we'll do that. That is one thing that you can have all of. I won't partake. I cannot deal with eggnog. Can't do it. Make it. Because even 100 centimeters is only 3 feet ish. That's not a lot of snow. Well, I guess since we're playing around with the weather anyway, we're gonna bump these up. And there we go. Pardon me. No, when the sim crashes, it can just be blamed on me pressing buttons. Let's see, what's the ETE say? 45 minutes. Well, it gets real tricky when I have to convert from metric to standard. I wonder if that's a general setting. Maybe it's under distant. Spring. Yeah. Best. Good thing. But all that crap is still in metric, which is really annoying. I don't like it. Not one bit. Yeah, we're still on East US. Sounds like somebody's in a King Air. So. Ah, maybe it's the Baron that I hear. As we just casually fly through body. certainly does. We're currently flying over one of the more westerly parts of mainland Alaska. We are at some point going to pass NOTAC, or NOATAC. The indicated outside temperature is minus 17°C. But that's also taking into account altitude. Nome, we're well far north of Nome. We took off near Nome. We took off from initially White Mountain, which is just to the east of Nome. Flew up to Wales. From there, we flew to Kotzebue, the Baldwin Peninsula, and we're now making our way up towards Weevok, or Cape Lisburne. And we're doing a Christmas flight with friends. Don't need the landing lights on right now. So you can see that wing light that allows the pilot to see icing, especially at night. Barrow is lovely this time of year. I think sunrise for us is in about 5 weeks. You're not wrong. This is probably the brightest it's been all flight. The sun hasn't gotten much further than that above the horizon. As we see the great seam of Alaska. It's where the maps come together. Well, between you and Spall, I wish you both a very Merry Christmas. Oh, goody. Well, I still see people, so it's doing its server thing. Many thanks, Azimuth. Hope y'all are staying warm. And they're back. Like the dinosaurs, they're back. Well, it could have been just that one movie. There's Joe0127 up ahead. This is not the most scenic part of Alaska. That's quite alright. Trying to identify that airport. I believe is Kivalina. Papa Alpha Victor Lima. Yeah, no more logs this far north. So one has to question, Azimuth. I know you spent a great deal of time in the Alaska area. How far north did you go? North of Barrow for 2 weeks. That's quite a ways north. Now, where's Barrow in? Oh, never mind. I was going to ask a dumb question and I answered it myself. So we're not quite going that far north, but it's not terribly far from where we are going. We're about the fourth airport southwest of Barrow. I don't know what's worth, having the sun down all the time or the sun up all the time. Raleigh Miles here. Merry Christmas to you in Aussie The grandkids are going nuts with Santa's gifts. Well, happy Christmas to you, Raleigh. Happy that you took some time to swing by the stream. It's definitely north of Michigan. Yeah, their servers are in a bit of turmoil right now, and it's a wee bit frustrating because now all my friends are gone. I hope your family's having a fantastic Christmas so far. To all my friends living in the future. Well, if it worked for you, it could maybe work for me. So we'll switch to the West Europe, since that seems to be better for me at the minute than the North server. That's what happens when you press too many buttons. Tanya, it's frustrating to no end. And Greyhawk, you're right. It is barren with name tags, and it's downright isolated without them. You are not kidding. Yeah, it did. The last two times it has. Merry Christmas, Azimuth, and to you and Spall, and may your shopping trip be uneventful and pleasant, and Merry Christmas. We'll get it sorted out, Tortuga, at some point. So while that's loading, be right back. Oh boy. Pardon me. So we were that departure. And cruise altitude. Yeah, can fantasy people flying on another like. Oh, the last time I tried to do that, it crashed everything. So for now, we're just gonna heading what nav, setting transponder. Let's change different radios, VFR, back. Go away, don't want to talk to you. Or altitude indicator. Flight director. There. Mode. Air. So I think I'm not going to fuss with too much. As disappointing as it will Son of a... I don't know why it does that. I haven't moved anything. Yeah, if it doesn't show up, it doesn't show up. I'm not gonna fuss with things because we're almost at the end of the flight, and I've already had a couple of CTDs, and I'm not gonna mess with too awful much. As much as it pays me to not see everybody, it's just gonna have to possibly be that way, unfortunately. That's kind of what I'm banking on, is the kids, the Fortnite generation, are going to get bored with it pretty quick. They're going to do their silly flying and for a week or two, and then get bored of it and move on. It kind of happened at the initial release. So one can only expect it to probably happen again. I got somebody. I got Jack Daniels. When I don't have a friend of the world, I have Jack Daniels on the screen. And there he went. And he's back again. I'm afraid to look at what server I'm on anymore. I think we were just playing around with why nobody could see anybody else. I just switched back to East USA, hoping it doesn't crash again. Hey, I got people. Not digging that one. Well, let's just hope everything stabilizes long enough to get down, watch everybody else land, and call it a Christmas. It's incredibly frustrating. You try to put on a good show, and then the world just kind of tries to conspire against you. But persistence. I'm too dumb to know when to stop. So, cabin lights go off. Those go on. Turn that one off. And I'm anticipating 0 lights at this strip. If the satellite imagery is anything to go on, it's a pretty barren place. Not to be confused with the Beach Baron. One moment. Oh, it does have lights. That's nice. On the satellite imagery, it looked like it was just basically a field of sorts. I'm making my best speed. So about 50 nautical miles away, about 16 minutes. Back to prop RPM a little bit. At least it's still very green. Or at least the way it, without going to live weather. Feels like it's getting a little blustery. Winds are indicating currently roughly 270 at 4 knots. Just a lot of variation. Let's see if we can't coax a little bit more out of it without redlining. About 12 and a half minutes to go. Trying to get all I can out of the Caravan. We inch closer and closer. Sounds like a plan, Tortuga. Runway 27 for landing. Cape Lisburne. Edging closer and closer. Merry Christmas to you as well, Merlin Flyer. Appreciate you coming along for the flight and for the patience with all the technical issues I've been having. May your Christmas celebrations be as best as they possibly can. As it seems they're missing some satellite imagery, but that's okay. Bound to happen. One day, Bing will have it all mapped. Well, Merry Christmas officially, Kingsman. I still have about 5 hours to go. So in case Santa's paying attention, I will be sleeping, so you might have to deliver presents late. Almost there, folks. Our final stop of the evening in the middle of nowhere, Alaska. It's 01:15 in Norway. The presents have already been opened. As long as it wasn't your local postal service that opened them for you. Well, excellent. And may the continued celebrations commence. So we're going to get in the cockpit. We're about 17 nautical miles out, so we're going to set the heading bug. Go into heading mode. Fly a bit north. Gonna lower, go down a couple thousand feet. Drop the levers back a bit. Oh dear. Oh ho, oh no. See, I have Kingsman, Raleigh Mall, Body P, Jack Daniels, Fast Pete. We are missing Tortuga. Let's just hope that it hangs on just a little bit longer. Bobby, there are lights. We'll go ahead and kill the autopilot. Start pulling back on the power lever. Using trim to bleed off some speed. Well, more specifically, using trim to put the nose in an up attitude in order to bleed off speed. We have the runway in sight. We're in the white arc, so we can start extending some flaps, compensating for the sudden pitch. Whoa. Here we are. Landing light comes on. Been a rough night tonight, and I apologize, everyone. Sorry for all the issues that have transpired and seem to have gotten all of us to some degree or another. I'm glad it was still enjoyable. High on the glide slope.
500.
Thanks, Linda. I have to admit, I'm a bit surprised that there are actually lights at this airport. But I'm kind of glad that they're there. Be real cool if you touch down. Low idle. And it didn't want to come down. It just wanted to keep flying. There's body P. We narrowly missed Kingsman's landing. This is, as there's Jack Daniels. This is Papa Alpha Lima uniform. We're on the East US server. Got Merlin Flyer, Raleigh Mall, and Fast P inbound. Not necessarily in that order. So for now, I'll let the music do most of the talking. There's Fast Pete. Very nice landing. East USA. I don't know that there is in North USA. There's Merlin Flyer. A very nice approach. So next we have Raleigh Mall. Or we did. I think the server gremlins got him. Yep, the server gremlins got to Raleigh Mall. That's unfortunate. So that being said, on this picturesque airport, I want to thank everyone for flying along, for watching along, and for otherwise. Oh, there's Raleigh Mall there. In the two-tone Murphy 172, no less. But for all those that flew along, watched along, and otherwise kept me company for the flight, I do greatly appreciate it. For the donations and the other contributions, I'm very grateful for. And to everyone, have a Merry Christmas. Be good to each other. And until the next time, be safe out there. Man, I really messed up my outro. Let's try this again. Merry Christmas. Be good to each other. Stay safe out there. And we'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.